Hey everybody, welcome to the video where I share my thoughts on the EA press conference with you guys. The EA press conference was yesterday. Because it was very late my time, I had to sleep. I couldn't really do a video immediately afterwards, but I do still know what my thoughts were, and I already shared with you guys that I was actually very pleased with the Microsoft press conference. I thought they did a very good job on only focusing on games, actually showing some good stuff. My only sorta, I guess it's not critique, but a lesser point is that there were no big surprises. Now, the hopes for EA were very high. Obviously, for my channel, very important is that, you know, we would see Battlefront footage. Finally, it had been announced. And in fact, they started with it. But I'm going to be very honest here. It was way too short. I realized that I will make a separate video on this topic alone. But it was so short that I was thinking, oh, well, it's going to be a very short video. And it actually set a trend for what happened during the rest of the presentation. Because after that we got another trailer of Dragon Age. This trailer was actually better than the one shown at the Microsoft press conference. You know, it had a musician accompanying the trailer. Beautiful music. And I've been thinking about it, and though I did criticize Dragon Age a little bit during the Microsoft press conference, after that sort of stuttering demo of The Witcher 3, I am kind of excited for this game. But like I said, I will probably not play it first, or play it when it comes out, because I haven't played Dragon Age 2 yet, and I want to do them in chronological order. But for example, I did like the trailer where they showed all the characters, and there was that black mage where they said, who knows what her agenda is? And I thought that actually looked kind of interesting. It seems that you have a big party, which I think was something that Dragon Age lacked. And if they can make the story of all those characters very interesting, kind of like they did in Dragon Age 1, then I'm down. I mean, one thing that I do have to say that I have to praise them for is the variety in terms of locations, in terms of color scheme, in terms of aesthetics. It all looked so different to the point where you could even think that it was an MMO. You had snowy mountains, deserts, jungles, forests, cave, dungeons, whatever. And, you know, in a variety that you rarely see in Western RPGs. They, of course, said then that they would also reveal 2 other games from BioWare. And obviously, the first thing that I thought that would happen is Mass Effect 4. And, well, it was very disappointing, kind of what they showed, to be honest. So everybody knew that people were working on a new Mass Effect. Maybe people didn't know yet if the story of Shepard would continue in forms of, you know, playing as one of the companions. If it would be a prequel, or if it would be a sequel but with an entirely different group. They kind of shared some concepts with you where you can explore the galaxy freely, find a planet and land on it and explore it. And that was fun and all, but you saw way too little. You saw some concept footage of some planets. You saw Krogan, and you know, that's fun and all, but it doesn't give me anything. It is way, I mean, people might have gone crazy, like, oh my god, Mass Effect 4, and I'm like, well, we knew that already. And in my honest opinion, they were better off making a slick sort of CG trailer that gives a little bit of a hint of what is going to happen than this concept footage. In fact, it is something that I really hated about this press conference in general. Like I said, I will do a separate video about Battlefront, but also there, you didn't see a lot of gameplay footage. You saw a lot of the developers talking, and that happened here as well, where they were like, it's so exciting, all these characters. And I'm like, yeah, listen dude, it's great that you love your game, and your game is indeed pretty cool, but show me some footage, you know. I don't need to see your faces while they're talking. You can do you guys talking about the game and show me footage of the new game that you're making. And it was just too little. And then, apparently, there was, another game that they were working on, an entirely new IP. I mean, that didn't tell me anything as well. They showed some environments, and that was it. I was like, God damn. I mean, great and all, but it doesn't tell me shit. Then we had Sims 4. Sims 4, even though, like, I don't hate Sims. I actually own Sims 3, I own Sims 2. I don't play it a whole lot. But I did like what I saw from The Sims 4. And for example, I thought that presentation was excellent. They had a lot of footage of the game, accompanied by that narrator who explained stuff. That is how you do a presentation, or how to show a trailer at a press conference. Then we had UFC. So, people may not know, but I'm kind of a UFC fan. I haven't watched it since February, though. But ever since 2009, 2008, I've been watching it for, I don't know, like 5 years straight. And, yeah, I don't know. It like I said, after 5 years, sometimes you need a break, and then I save up some episodes, and then I watch them all. I binge watch them. And, I don't know. I didn't like the trailer that much because of the Bruce Lee thing. Listen, Bruce Lee's cool and all, but he is such a fantasy character that he doesn't belong in a UFC game. I mean, I remember that they had an interview with Bas Rutten once, who was a famous MMA fighter in Pride and the UFC itself. And, he admitted that he was the biggest Bruce Lee fan, but that Bruce Lee would actually not win in today's UFC because there's way much more now that accompanies MMA, like ground fighting and everything else. Also, one thing that I have to say is that the punches don't feel as powerful as they did in UFC Undisputed 2 and 3. It's really weird. I don't know. The look of the game is still, I don't know. This is their first game, of course, EA that's making this, though it might be actually the same team that made it for THQ. I don't know. But yeah, they have to fix some stuff. I might skip this one and go for the one they will release next year. Then we had NHL. I don't care about hockey. Fuck that. Then we had Criterion Games. Again, exactly the same problem as they did with the Mass Effect one and the Star Wars one. They said, yeah, it's very early footage. It was kind of a funny joke when the guy said, well, we can't keep it a secret anyway, referring to, of course, the Hardline leak. And the footage that they showed was so early. It had a lot of gray outlines, a lot of gray objects, not done textures. But they showed the developers going skydiving, going snowboarding on a snow scooter and everything. And I thought to myself, show some gameplay footage. What is going on here? I mean, it's fun and all that you want to make a racing game, and they want to make an open world sort of thing where you can also like fly and then immediately jump on a quad or everything and continue. But I mean, show it to me. What this is such bullshit. What is going on here? And I mean, a CG trailer would have been better. I don't like CG trailers because they don't give you a good representation of how the game is actually going to look. But it works better than seeing developers, skydive or whatever. Then we had golf. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big golf fan, but it was kind of cute, I guess, that they had the level from Battlefield 4 with the ship and everything. I kind of like that. I mean, it felt sort of ham-fisted in because the big thing, of course, is that golf is golf. The moment that they said, yeah, we have the power of the Frostbite engine, I was like, well, destructible environments in a golf game. Because, how much more beautiful can you make golf? It's like, yeah, now we have every grass particle, and we even have pollens in the grass and everything. So, I thought it was funny, but it's definitely not a game that I'm ever going to play. Then we had Madden. Yeah, listen, dude, I'm not American, I'm Dutch. So I don't have anything with American football, you know, whatever. Let me just say though that even though I skip over all these sport games, this wasn't bad, okay? This is what EA always does. EA, of course, has the EA Sports, huge franchises. They sell millions and millions all over the world. They did this last year, they did this the year before, where they go about all of the games. And I thought they actually did a good job of showing 2 sports games and then mix it up with another type of game, like an RPG or a fighting game or whatever, and then going back to the sports again. I thought that kept the pace going pretty well. But yeah, Madden. Then we had Dawn Gate, a MOBA. I'm not into MOBAs. I guess I kind of forgive him here to show the developers because it was so community-based, this game. But like I said, I didn't have my senses on this game, so I don't know a whole lot about it. But I'm probably not going to play it since I'm not into MOBAs. And then we had Mirror's Edge. And again, exactly the same. You know, people talking about Faith and what she represents and how she moves. I'm like, yeah, it's fun and all, but show me footage while you're doing this. And agreed, compared to the Criterion game and the, what was the other one? The Mass Effect game, they did show more footage, than those games. But again, it was so little. It was just Faith, you know, kicking some guys' asses. A lot of unfinished textures in the world. The world looked very bland. I do realize that it's the style of Mirror's Edge to use a lot of whites, not use a lot of color except for like the important parts where you need to navigate to. But it just didn't look great. And what was even more sort of, I don't know, insulting or weird is. And I like I said, I don't talk about Battlefront here, but I had the same feeling with Battlefront. Both Battlefront and Mirror's Edge 2 were already announced last year. Last year, we saw the CG trailer of Battlefront where, you know, some guy walked through Hoth, and we saw snow speeders falling down, we saw the AT-AT. And here, in Mirror's Edge, we saw Faith's shoe, you know, and they left a footprint, a red footprint, and it said Mirror's Edge. What have you guys been doing during this last year, huh? I mean, you could have made another trailer. I realized that on Next Gen that you need to build an engine all the way from scratch. But a year is enough to make some sort of a trailer. I mean, it doesn't have to be long. It can be a minute or something. It was so disappointing. I was like, well, goddamn. I literally don't know anything more than I did last year. So, yeah, that was very disappointing. I don't personally know what people are so excited for Mirror's Edge. Mirror's Edge sold pretty shitty. Not a lot of people like the game. And you know, Mirror's Edge 2 was announced and everybody was like, oh my god, yes, best game ever. I was like, really? Where were you when it was released? Alright, well, yeah, FIFA. Yeah, FIFA. Okay, whatever. It had, of all the sports games, it had the most epic trailer. It had such bombastic music that was like, whoa, are we going to war? Is this war? Oh, no, this is football. Never mind. And then we had Battlefield Hardline, which was their big finish. Of course, such a pity that it leaked out. It could have been the one that saved this press conference, and it didn't. Though I did like what I saw from Hardline. I thought it was very smart that they showed multiplayer footage because I wasn't really blown away by the idea of the single-player story thing with, you know, good cop, bad cop, you know, on both sides of the law, blah blah blah, dramatic bullshit. But I was really wondering how the multiplayer would work since the scenarios would kind of be smaller, since I could not imagine having, you know, huge battles with cops and robbers. That would just be kind of weird. If you try to bring it realistic, and so they showed a 32-player match, and it was amazing. And what was really cool was most people, when they play Battlefield, they play the conquest mode, right? Where you need to capture points A, B, C, and hold them. And by shifting the environment to a cops and robbers feeling, what you create is a reason why things like, and I'm gonna call the capture the flag now, but it's like, I don't know, it's a bank heist basically, right? Where the robbers rob an armored truck, they take the loot, and they need to get the hell out of there, and you justify that by creating this environment. Usually people don't play capture flag or capture the bomb or whatever, and here they do, and it's kind of cool because there's that constant chase scene of those heist movies you get there, but just, you know, times 10, with all those cranes exploding, cars exploding. I thought that the vehicles looked kind of cool. You know, yeah, police motorcycles that were zooming by, choppers. You know, I'm kind of glad that they didn't do tanks. I was a little bit afraid of that. They may do, like, you know, some SWAT APCs sometimes, you know. I'm not too sure about that. But after that, of course, they made the announcement that the beta was live. Since I'm in Japan, probably won't count for me. But all in all, that was the end of the presentation, and let me be honest, I was kind of disappointed by the EA conference. I was very positive there, and I thought that EA had some games that they could absolutely bang with. They had the new Mass Effect, they had Battlefront, and they showed so little. So little. It was disappointing, to be honest. I mean, Spartacus, he had some problems with his stream, so he tuned in a little bit later, and he expected there to be more Battlefront footage. He was like, "Wait, what? Battlefront already happened?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, in the beginning." And it was very, very few seconds. And to be honest, I don't even think it was in game, even though they said it was. But anyway, guys, that was it. I haven't watched any people's or any other people's opinions, so this is purely my opinion, my speculation. I will now. It is morning, of course. I will start watching the Ubisoft press conference, and then after that the PlayStation conference. So look forward to those videos as well. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys then.